Okay, class is dismissed.
Excuse me, Professor. How was the microscope invented?
And how did they improve the microscope?
Well, I can't explain it very well, but I bet Lee took a Robert can explain to you better.
But how will we be able to talk to them? They're dead.
Well, I just received advanced time travel technology from the CIA, which will allow you to go back in time. But there's a catch. It can only take 2 people at a time, so I'll have to stay here and guide you.
Do we need anything?
Here is this.
What
This is how you use it. So, you pull the dial out all the way and turn it 10 times forward.
We are back in the 1650s, where Hooke and Lou and Hooke first started their cell research. If you go to Midtown or from the big school, it is the house right next to it. That is where Lee and White Hooke lives.
Who may you be?
We are 2 students who wish to know about your advancements and discoveries of the microscope.
Very well, follow me to my research lab.
Teach us about the construction of the microscope.
Well, for me, it was really just trial and error. When I started looking into lakes and glass jars, I realized that the more curved they were, the more magnified they made objects. So I tested this out with microscopes. The more I curved the glass lens that I carved, the more magnified it got. I just used a simple carving tool. I was able to use simple little glass jars, and I was able to carve the perfect lens out of them. I made the most powerful microscopes known to mankind. The curve of the lens really helped improve the vision and the clarity of the object I was viewing, as well as magnifying it. All I needed was a little light.
Wow, that's cool. Can you show us one of your microscopes?
I can show you how to build one if you lend me some time.
Thank you, that'd be great.
Okay, follow me.
Finally, all done. The microscope looks so cool. Can I look through it now?
Yes, you may, but I need some of your teeth scrapings first.
Ooh, I can provide that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, all ready to look at.
Okay. Whoa, this looks so cool. I can see all the tiny creatures and bacteria from her teeth scrapings.
Oh, can I see?
Yeah.
That does look really cool, but we have to go now.
Okay.
We're off to our next stop.
Mr. Hook, we were wondering if you could teach us about your discoveries and about the book you wrote.
Yes, Micrographia, my greatest achievement. I had used Lee and Wenhook's newfound and improved microscope, and I did confirm his theories about tiny living creatures. I had used his microscope in order to further improve my book, because I had already started it. My very first observation was on corks and fleas, which I drew into my book. I found that cork was made of little boxes that looked like milk poems called cells, so that is what I named them. Once I had completed my research with the limited microscope I found Lee Wenhook's and was glad to use his. I drew stunning pictures of what I saw and discovered with that microscope. That is really all I have to offer you girls.
Thank you, Robert. We have to be on our way. Maybe we could visit another time. Bye!
Well, I first started with fancy microscopes about 10 years ago when I was first able to get my hands on one. I figured that in order to improve the convex lens of the microscope, I needed better quality glass, and more precise curves of the lens in order to create a clearer, more fine instrument.
How did you manufacture the lens to make it the way you wanted it to be?
Well, I was able to find and hire two men, Odo Scott and Ernst A. Odo was an optical glass researcher and was able to create better glass lenses to improve your vision. Ernst A was better on the manufacturing side, and he was able to put the microscope together into a perfect instrument. This microscope was able to magnify a minimum of 200 nanometers. It was a creation I will never forget.
Thank you for your time, Carl. We have to go now.
Goodbye.
Professor, how do we get back?
Turn the watch 4 times to the left and it will bring you back.
Thank you.
For our experiment, we made a microscope out of household items and compared it to a modern light microscope. We used muscle cells to compare our two microscopes. From our microscope, we were able to see the cell, but not as refined and focused as the light microscope. Also, our microscope magnified the whole object, whereas the compound light microscope was able to zoom in and focus on a more defined point. For being made out of tape, a paper towel roll, and toy magnifying glasses, our microscope was able to magnify pretty well. These are our two drawings. The drawing of our microscope shows that the size of the cell is 0.05625 micrometers from this magnification, but with the compound light microscope, it is 0.1125 micrometers, which is more accurate.
Other information that you might want to know about Leeuwenhoek is that he was the first person to create a functioning microscope. He grinded and polished lenses to make a new microscope that had almost a 270 power that magnified an object to a millionth of a meter. He was also the first person to see bacteria and yeast plants at a much closer view. He used a drop of water to look at the life swimming within. He was considered crazy because he was just an average man with no credentials. But Hooke changed that. He verified Leeuwenhoek's findings and published them in a book called Micrographia. This book had many beautiful drawings of his findings and is most famous for its realism and accuracy. He was also the person to coin the name cells, after looking at dead cork cells and seeing that they resembled the rooms monks lived in. Lister found the current microscopes inadequate to view the structure of plant cells and animal cells details, so he set out to make improvements. He was able to cancel chromatic aberration by combining lenses of crown and flint glasses of different dispersion. Chromatic aberration is when the lens splits the visible light and focuses it in a different point. This causes a fringe of color around the object. And spherical aberration was minimized by the correct separation of the lenses. Spherical aberration is when there are many focal points around an object, so a blurry image is produced. These two adjustments were made during the design and construction of the achromatic lens, and led to the perfection of the optical microscope. This improvement allowed him to explore his deep interest in natural history.